Hey, what's going on, guys? James here bringing another YouTube video, and this is going to be another DPW Fire review. I guess? Review? Either way. So, DPW Fire Episode 2 just got off the air, if you will. And it was a good show. I don't really know how I feel about the show overall, though. It didn't feel as special as that first episode did, but maybe I'm just biased because, again, that was my first wrestling show in 2 years. So maybe I'm biased in that way, and like it was special to see this actual wrestling product being made by some of like my favorite creators ever, you know, like people who seriously have inspired me and influenced me. But nonetheless, this was a good episode. It kicked off with women's action, KZT versus Angelica Risk, and the match, this is going to sound really mean, but it was the weakest match they've had so far, I think. It was an okay match. There were things I liked about it. I really liked that they had a very clear heel and babyface dynamic. Now, you can get away with not having that and it being perfectly fine. It's even sometimes absolutely special. I really liked at one point where the crowd actually started clapping along and getting behind KZT. Like, that was really cool. It's a very old school thing, honestly, but that, again, like, that was really cool to see. I think they both played their parts and characters well enough. I guess the biggest thing that kind of made me disappointed in the match, honestly, was just as the match felt like it was really getting going, it ended. And that's fine. They still can only really go up from here. And I'm very excited to see where they go. But yeah, it did feel kind of disappointing to me. But nonetheless, it was still an okay match. There were things I absolutely really liked about it. And they also did the sponsor and ad reads right after this match, which was also, so we had the Delinquents, which was Josh Fuller and Mikey Banker, two people who appeared on the first episode of DPW Fire, when Josh Fuller took on Bojack in the World Championship Eliminator Tournament. So that was really cool to see them again. And at first, it was kind of interesting because, you know, they're kind of goofy. It kind of felt like they might be a little bit of like goofy kind of heels at first. At least I kind of thought that. And we knew that it was clear they were getting ready for tag team action. And then out of the blue, that's when one Chris Danger debuts. You know, of course, the real life Chris Danger comes out as Chris Danger, and he cuts a promo. He cuts a good promo. I do wish and think it'll get better, obviously, as they keep going, but I do think the mic quality in their arena, like, I think they need to work on the mic and audio quality just a little bit, because at times it was hard to hear Chris. But again, I think they'll get better with more time, naturally. But yeah, Chris came out, he cut a good promo, kind of had like a little bit of a swerve. Yeah, he made everyone think he was going to be the manager for the Delinquents, and then he ended up bringing out this team called The Reality, and also name-dropped what I assume will be his group that he will manage, called the NDA. Which I think, of course, is a funny name, because NDA, non-disclosure agreement, creators face NDAs when they have like gameplay and stuff early. Of course, that's kind of like a little kind of like wink and a nudge kind of thing. I like that. And yeah. And the tag match was actually, I think, a really good tag match. It's not going to be the best tag team match you will ever see, not by a long shot, but for the first tag team match here in DPW, it was really solid. Again, we had a very clear, like, babyface and heel dynamic. The Reality, they worked well together. The Delinquents worked well together. They had good chemistry in the match. Chris on the outside, I mean, he kind of stayed out of it, honestly. So, not really too much to say there. But yeah, it was good. And I will say as well, just a quick little mention, you know, Johnny, Tony, and Pulse, they all felt even more comfortable in their commentary roles, which was great. I mean, they already felt really comfortable in the role in the first episode, and that just continued on here. But yeah, the tag team match was good. We had nice, just kind of classic heel tag team work from the Delinquents. We had some good double team moves. They beat down Josh Fuller. We had we had some more trolling of Johnny, with Josh Fuller attempting the overdrive again just to be countered. I assume they're building to him eventually going to hit it and probably win with it. That's what I would do. But yeah, again, it was good. Like, I really enjoyed the tag team match, especially with how I was disappointed by the women's match. It was a nice kind of like push up. I don't know. I really did like the tag team match. Yeah. Oh, I guess I should say KZT ended up getting a submission victory over Angelica Risk, and the Delinquents fell victim to the Reality, managed of course by, again, Chris Danger. As by the way, also, the Reality ended up doing like a normal suicide dive, not going underneath the bottom rope, but like going through the middle rope, which is really cool actually. And one of them did like a legit fucking tope con hilo, and that was great too. So yeah, that was fantastic. Really good. So yeah. But yeah, the Reality got the win, and they moved on. Which, I mean, I kind of expected. Like, it would feel really weird to have Chris come out essentially interrupting the Delinquents, which that's the way they were rolling with that. It would be weird to have him come out interrupting a team, cutting this promo, announcing another team, to be a part of what I assume is going to be a faction in other episodes. Yeah, it was really weird that it'd be really weird to have them then lose. So that was kind of, I guess, foreshadowed, if you will. It was kind of obvious that the Reality was going to get the win, but nonetheless, it was cool, and I think that was the right call overall, especially since I think you can really run with the Delinquents being like underdog baby faces. I think people will really get behind them a lot. But yeah, I think the fans could really get behind the Delinquents, so I think giving the win to the Reality was a good idea. And of course, the main event, was another DPW World Championship Eliminator Tournament match. It was Calvin Tankman versus Donnie Ray. Again, two guys I am not familiar with, but they put on, honestly, a good main event match. I don't think it was the level of Andrew Everett and Rosemary, but, I mean, I guess that's kind of to be expected though, because like Andrew Everett and Rosemary have both done a lot. I mean, they've both been featured quite a bit with, you know, like say TNA Impact, for example, you know, and I know Andrew Everett actually was a champion in TNA, so I guess it makes sense. But they put on a good, solid main event. And what I really liked about the main event too, it felt like they were gonna do. It felt like they were teasing for Calvin Tankman to squash Donnie Ray, and instead, they had Calvin Tankman keep knocking him down, going for pins, and then having Donnie Ray kick out, and eventually Donnie Ray would just keep fighting back, getting some good strikes and some good moves in, really catching Calvin Tankman off guard, and really like getting good offense in and like stunning him and knocking him down and just really progressing through the match. And I do think one thing that was really surprising to me, the crowd who was behind Calvin Tankman quite a bit at first, like they ended up getting really behind Donnie Ray, and I don't think like Pulse, Tony, and Johnny would have expected that, but they really did. And you know, again, like both guys did a really good job. In the end, it was a really nice sequence of moves from Calvin Tankman that got him the win over Donnie Ray and moving into the next round. And that's really all I have to say for the most part. Again, it was a solid show overall. I do think it was a slight step down from the first episode. But again, that may just be bias from me talking because, again, like I said, with DPW Fire Episode 1, that was the first wrestling show I had watched in 2 years. So, again, it could be bias from me. But, I don't know, I felt like this show was slightly weaker than the first episode overall. But there was still a lot of stuff to dig into and still a lot of stuff that I liked on this show. I do think the crowd was a little more dead during this show too, honestly. And again, maybe that's just me, but I do think they were. But again, I know that this was like all taped in the same day, maybe same couple of days. So I do know that. But yeah, I don't know. Again, it was a solid show, but I do think it was a step down from the first episode. But like I said, there was a lot of good things that went on that I did like. But that's really all I've got to say for the most part. So yeah, I mean, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, comment down below, share it on social media, do all that good stuff. And let me know, like, did you watch DPW Fire Episode 2? If you did, let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Did this episode do more for you than the first episode? Did you like it more? Or are you in the same boat with me? Again, just let me know all your thoughts if you're watching this to the end. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye, guys.